Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. In today's video I'll be showing you how to install the vertical screen from Phoenix Automotive into my 2015 Chevrolet Colorado Z71. So let me show you what's in the box before we go out to the truck and install it. So you'll be getting this box inside of another bigger box. Once you take that and open it up, you can open this up and you'll get a box that looks like this. And it comes with a few sheets of paper. Basically, let's see, your invoice, order, and also pretty much an instruction thing about troubleshooting, it looks like. So no GPS, no sound while playing music or video, no sound when in reverse, temperature reading, radio stuff, things like that. And you'll get this foam piece there, and you'll have your vertical screen packaged up in this plastic bag. I'll just kind of show it to you. I got the black version, so nothing connected, everything looks good. Has a little bit of a protective film on the screen, not broken, not cracked. We'll hope that it works. And then you'll get a smaller white box in the middle down there. Let's see what's in there. It is the GPS and compass active antenna. So we'll show you how to install that into the head unit. Then you'll get everything else in a cardboard box like this, which basically is all of the wire harnesses inside. You also have the speaker, it looks like, for the GPS playback. Yeah, we'll show you how to install all of these once we get out to the truck. Let's see, anything else? Other than that, you can kind of see there's nothing else. Everything gets packaged into here, and then you get some more information here about the radio. All right, let's go out to the truck. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is take the steering column cover off right here. There is one bolt that you need to remove underneath the column. It's this big, it's not too big, and it uses a 7mm socket. So once you take that off, you should be able then to take this off. So I have a few tools that I'm going to use. One is a butter knife. I have a couple of these other plastic cell phone screen remover tools. We'll see if those work. I'll try the plastic ones first, see how easy it is. So there's this crack that you can get the tool to slide into and hopefully lift it up. Well, actually I see some clips, so I'm going to hold it open with this blue tool and try to use my butter knife to maybe help pry that off. Okay, just slide that in deep and just slight lift up, and that came off quite easy. Let's see how it is on this side. You can kind of find a spot where you can slide it in there. See, it doesn't seem to come off too hard. Let's lower the column. Looks like it's really lifting up easily. Okay, that was not too bad. It is loose now. We have to figure out how to get it off. So you'll need to take this off in order to attach your steering wheel column cables. The issue is this windshield wiper stick that you have to somehow finagle it off of there. Kind of wiggle it and pull it through there. There you go. There's that. But as I was mentioning, these clips are super easy to pop on and off, it looks like, since they're pretty flexible here and they're pretty wide open. So there's three, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the right side and just 2 on the left. The left side was a lot easier to take off. Okay, so now you can see inside the column. Okay, now that we got the cover off of the steering column, let's go ahead and try and take this off. So we'll try to use this butter knife since it's nice and thin and flat to see if we can feel any clips that we can pull off. A little bit of a, I'm being really gentle, so probably could have cut it off faster, but really want to be careful. So just don't jerk it, just kind of pull with control. Seems like the outer bezel's coming off first.
That kind of helps. This little wedge in there to help it without breaking that. There we go. That's a pain. Okay, so we got all the clips except there's a couple that's still stuck into the back there. After that, I see a couple of, actually 4 bolts that we need to take off. And yep, they are 7mm. I'm just going to loosen them and do the rest by hand. They are longer than the steering column one, so don't get those mixed up. I'm sure you'll be okay because there's only one small or short bolt in there. Okay, let's see if we can pull it out. Something, oh, okay. I see a few clips on the edges here where the vent is. Let's see if I can pull the right one out. Steering column's always in the way. But right next to the vent are some more clips. Maybe I can kind of pull on this. There we go. And on the bottom, there is one as well. Okay. As you can see, there's only, looks like there's only 2 connections on the back of the OEM head unit. Try to take the connectors off. There's one. Oh, that helped. The butter knife. So we had a connection, these 2 connections, and one down here for climate control. So there you have it. We've taken the head unit out. You're going to need to save these air vents as well when you reinstall. So let's go get the main head unit and start connecting, okay? Okay, so I brought the head unit into the truck. We're obviously going to need to put the air vents in there and clips that go on the sides. And you get those from the original one. Looks quite easy. There's these tabs that you can kind of just lift up and over and pull these out. Should be 4 of them on the whole thing. Maybe use a thumb. Okay, so I used my thumb to push that down and my other fingers to kind of push it through, and it seemed to come off a little bit harsh, but everything's all right. There's one. Try to do the same on the other one, maybe without using tools. Okay, much easier with just your fingers. Well, sometimes they want to click back in there. Cut the left side out on this. Let's see if we can get that right. There we go. Okay, there's one vent, or the second vent actually. And then we want to take off some of these metal clips to reuse. There you might need to use your butter knife because there are some of these spikes that stick into the plastic. We'll try to shimmy those off. Alright, there's one. But yeah, you can see the spikes in there that grip onto the plastic. Alright. Oh, I kind of cut myself. They're sharp, so be careful. We'll need 9 of these. And you'll just place it on there like that. Okay, so I got all the clips installed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can also get them from the outer bezel as well, from these slots. So once that's done, the next steps for me is to install the air vents. They should be in a certain spot. Installs like that. Let's see if they're interchangeable. Looks like they are. You could just swap it to the left and the right. So probably doesn't matter how you put them in, but they clip in just like the OEM unit. You have the slots, these 3 slots, these 3 slots on the bottom go into these 3 slots here, these 3 slots here, and they'll clip in onto these tabs, and they're all locked. And make sure that those 2 wires are slid over underneath the part of the vent there. Let's do the other one real quick. This one looks a little bit easier, but you still have these wires right here that could get in the way. Just kind of move them up and over maybe so you don't break them. They look very thin and fragile. And let's see. Yep, should go like this. There's this little lip here on there. That should go towards the bottom of the unit. Okay, now both air vents are in. They've clicked in good. Check on the front side to make sure you don't have any other crazy gaps. Okay, so the next steps that I want to do is install the wire harnesses, and I'll show you where they go. So this is the GPS speaker. So if you want turn-by-turn navigation and things like that, or audio from the unit, the head unit itself, we'll go ahead and put this on. You have a sticky pad here to stick it somewhere. I think this is a good location, but I don't want to secure it yet, just in case. I'm going to leave this twist tie on it in case I need to bunch that up a little bit more, which it looks like. Let's go ahead and do that now. We don't need this much slack if we're putting it here, right? But I think right there's a good spot for it. You can still hear it then. Okay, the next things here, just to show, they do have some labels on there. This wire harness here has 5 yellow connections and a couple extra wires. It looks like we have a mic, a Chesky VBS, I'm not sure, but yeah, this looks like the an audio type of cable. So the first wire harness that you're going to want to install is the one that looks like this. It has a big gray connector here and another gray connector here with a few dangling wires. That's going to go here where you also see the car's gray connector. So pull that out. And you will put the Phoenix Automotive cable in its place. But the one from the car needs to go back into the Phoenix Automotive one, so you still get whatever signal that is for. But once you do that, now you have all of these other connections that will tie into either the head unit or some other cables. The next one that I want to install is this steering wheel wire harness. It is the steering wheel harness that looks like this. Has a shorter cable here with a long cable coming through. And this smaller connector will connect into one of these connections here on the wire harness that we installed first. There's either key 1 or key 2. Now to choose which connector you're going to use, you'll have to try both of them to see which one of those connections will actually work with the head unit with your steering wheel controls. But first we'll at least route it through. So we'll take the connector off of the column here. Looks like that. And slide that into the female end of the connector from Phoenix. And then the other one, the male connection goes back into the column. There you go. Simple as that. See how we can tuck that down. Now this extra wire is going to have to go through the column and back up through here, but that looks pretty easy. So we'll get out of the vehicle. Okay, so now I got the wire through the back there. I'm going to try to bring it up through this hole. Might be good to get a coat hanger. So with the coat hanger, I'm going to take a hooked in through here, down through the bottom where I can reach this cable. And you can see this split between the two wires. You'll just have to be careful when you're pulling it that you don't break the connector off. And then you can just pull it straight through like that. So that made it quite easy, and I'm just going to plug it into one of these right now so it doesn't get lost or go back down through there. Got a little bit of dirt or grease on there, but clean that off. Okay, so just to get some other cables out of the way, I'm going to take this AC cable actually and put it into the old AC slot. Then this will go into the head unit. The other one is this USB cable in case you want to play music through your USB. It's this brown connector with 2 USBs on it, and that doesn't connect to anything in the car. It'll just connect into the actual head unit, but I'm not going to plug it in yet till we're fully ready. But that's also another cable that needs to be routed. Actually, I'm not going to put it in the glove box, but you can do that later. I'm just going to drop it down here to have it out of the way. Or I could see if I can throw that coat hanger down there and just pull it through. It's a bit easier to fish that way. Now that I can see that cable down there, just put the coat hanger through this loop. And I mean, I could have that USB just over here on the side. So that makes it quite easy. Give yourself enough slack. There's that. Okay, the next little connector wire harness that I'm going to connect is the one with the purple end and the black end. Now that goes into that speaker that I set in earlier. The black connections go together like that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is put this GPS cable through. Now I'm not going to do it for this video in a way that I'm happy with, but I'm just going to route some of the wires through here, and I'll just let it hang down for a little bit until I get around to bringing it up the side through here, under there, and up at the top, because I will just mount it right here at the top of the windshield. But right now we'll just go ahead and route the wire loosely here so that I don't have to take off the radio again. So let me just put this underneath and grab the coat hanger, because that seems to work pretty good. I might just tie a loose knot on it actually. Okay. Put the coat hanger through the hole where you want it to go. And then pick it up with your coat hanger. Alright, there you go. You have the wire through there. The rest of it is up to you how you want to route it. But right now I'm going to keep it out of the way. And now we're basically ready to connect. The one thing that I'm not sure what it does yet is this one, because there's no connections that I have that use them. I don't have any aftermarket speakers or sound system other than what came in here, which was the Bose. But it looks like you do get a microphone jack here and a microphone in the packaging so that you can actually talk or make voice commands. But that'll just plug into the head unit, and then you can plug that in how you wish. So more than likely you might want to you could just keep the mic somewhere in here, maybe clipped onto a wire harness. It's tucked back in there, or take it out and have it routed up to the top. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but I'm going to I'll just plug it in anyway. I'm not sure how sensitive it is, but there's a nice little spot here maybe that it could connect onto, but it might fall off. Set it right on top of these wires on the green connector. There's a clip on it, so you can just kind of clip it onto there. Let's see if that works and holds. If it does, then we're good. Might just have to talk loud enough to get the voice to get recognized. Bunch these up real quick, and kind of let's lay that in there now, and let's start connecting things to the head unit. Okay, so grab your head unit and let's start connecting things into here. So here's the AC. That should go into this spot. Okay, so that goes into there. Find your purple wire. So once you have the purple wire, it goes into this top, well, it'd be like the top right spot, looking at it right side up. We have the GPS wire. When you're doing this, make sure things look good and not tangled around other wires. That screws into here. It's quite simple. So let's find that USB. Here it is. The USB will go right next to the purple one. Then you have this yellow one that came with the big old gray connectors, and I'm going to need to give myself a little bit more slack. The yellow one will go right underneath the purple connector. It's more or less beigey-ish yellow, off-white, I guess. Make sure they all click into place, which they do. You have this USB, that's going to be tough to get there. We're going to have to move closer. Well, let's just make sure we didn't forget anything else. This white one with all of those yellow things on there looks to go right underneath the brown connector there. Okay. All right, so we're almost done here. The other connections require you to get closer to the dash here, so hopefully you can still see it. But this factory cable, in case you can't see it later when I start to connect them, with a little bit of the white inserts there, goes next to the blue air conditioning wire. And then you have this USB mini USB that goes into the USB slot over here. Let's make sure that the wire from the GPS is kind of tucked down there a little bit more. Make sure this is all cleaned up first. We don't want to pinch anything too crazy. Okay. Tuck it in. Tuck it in. I'm not going to connect it yet because I still have to figure out the steering wheel column connections. But I just want to get close enough to put the factory connector in right there. And the USB. Okay, everything is more or less connected. Just gonna kind of have to let it sit in there real quick so I can turn it on and see how it looks. Take your key. And let's see what comes on. Okay, boom, wow, okay. I guess it works that easily. Close the door here, get the ding off. But anyway, let's let it boot up.
911.
Okay, well.
Rethinking the action that he was loaded for bear to carry out.
I do see that the audio is working because it was loud. I wanted to turn it down. Let's click on radio. Oh, nice. Okay. Just so you know, what's good about this is that you kind of still get the little bit of the same interface of your old radio, and it still had my radio presets on here. And then yeah, you can see the audio there. I'm going to click on, that's the volume, left and right as far as next. It does seem to work. Maybe the speaker voice here.
Command please.
Okay, that works. Command please. Let's hit the end button.
Goodbye.
Goes back to the end. Let's hit the source button. Yeah, move this down so you can see. Source button does work. So I got it right on the first try. Is this audio too? Yep. All right. So I did get it right the first try on the steering wheel connections, and I'm trying to look real quick just to tell you so it can save you some time. The one that I plugged into for the steering wheel controls is the one that has key 2 on it. So it's going to be the connector at the very end of the whole harness instead of this one in the middle. I'm going to take a picture of it and put it here. Okay, so now that I have everything on, I'm just going to tidy it up, screw it in, and then we'll talk to you after that. Okay, so I went ahead and screwed in the top 2 bolts. You won't need the 2 middle ones that were with the original unit. And also, just kidding, I did find this little piece. It was in the box in the top slot of the foam, and that will just slide over the top here. Just like that. So now it looks a lot cleaner and a lot better now. I did check already that everything's working as far as Bluetooth. It seems to save everything from your previous settings from the OEM as far as your Bluetooth settings and your Sirius XM if you have it. So that's good. Other than that, you'll also get this little auxiliary dongle that you plug into your auxiliary port down here. And that just tells the unit that you can use the auxiliary input as well for music. And I already tested that out by plugging in something else to it, and that works. And you get that by hitting the source button until you see aux. And if you don't have anything plugged into the auxiliary, then it won't know. So if I put that in there, keep hitting the source, and you see the auxiliary input. By the way, it also keeps track of your music that you might have on a USB stick that you have plugged in there or in the glove box right here. So everything works super simple right out of the box. Everything was saved in there. I really didn't have to do anything actually. I just plugged in, and it's like plug and play, to be honest. It saved everything as far as the music, the steering controls, your settings as far as radio settings, and everything else. Let me show you also the rear view camera shows up. Now you're going to lose, actually, yeah, you keep everything on your rear view camera. So if you turn left and right, you actually get that movement there. I think the footage is a little bit grainier than it was before, but I'm not sure. Obviously the camera's the same, but maybe it's just the aspect ratio is kind of different. It does have down here some sensors, but this truck does not come with those, so those probably will not be activated. I mean, I'm already close to stuff back there and there's no sensors going on. So anyway, that's how you do the install. I would say it probably took me only about 30 to 45 minutes to do it if I wasn't recording the video. So far I'm pretty happy with it. You even get the navigation, stuff like that, but I can go through these settings in another video. But if you have any questions or comments on how to install, or any situations that you have come across where you can't figure out, let me know in the comment section and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you like this video, go ahead and click subscribe, like the video, and also if you don't like the video, go ahead and click the thumbs down button twice. Thanks a lot for watching.